Hi everyone, I'm back. Sorry for such a long wait. I had so much to deal with. After my stroke, I'm like bombarded with a bunch of appointments. And today, they're making me wear this little device. And it's just basically a monitor, and it's for my heart, just to find out if I have any blockages. I have to wear this for 24 hours. I went and got this morning. But yeah, I have appointments almost on daily basis, and it was extremely hard to keep up with them. I'm so used to not be able to do anything. I have a boring life. I do. And before the stroke, that's all I did was stay home and focus my time on beading. So, I gotta push you guys closer to me. There. So, when I left off, I left off around here. I just finished this here part right here. I'm starting to like the rustic look that the beads are looking like. When you have them on here, they look all nice and purpley. But then, for this particular reason is why I have to add nail hardener, because the coloring keeps coming off. I don't know if you could see that, but yeah, that's pretty see-through almost. There's no color on it. So I have to put nail hardener on there in order to save the color. But yeah, it's going pretty good. I just did this about a couple hours ago, this here side, and I posted that on Facebook. I do have a site. This here is bothering me right here, so I'm going to pull these. Now if I can grab these two beads right here. And the other problem, like I've been saying all along, I need a new phone. And when I do post a video on either YouTube or Facebook, my phone acts up and it doesn't go back to normal for a very long time. I did take it into a tech. One tech said that it's your battery, and so I went and bought a new battery, and so I was still having issues with the phone, and I called my provider, told him the issues I was having, and so he troubleshooted to make sure that to find out if that was the cause, and it wasn't. So he said that it's not a software issue, it's your device, and having being that it's an older model, it's most likely gonna clunk out on you. So yeah, I'm surprised that this phone is still up and working, because I've had this phone for 2 or 3 years. I think it's been 2 years. And I use it on daily basis. I mean daily. There is not a day that goes by that I do not use my phone for anything. And just so that you know that if my phone rings, I might have to answer it because I am waiting for a call from my son. He's in prison. Yeah. My youngest son, he's been in and out of trouble since he was 13. And now he's at this age where he just wants to settle down. And he was doing good there for about a year. He stayed out of trouble. Found himself a really good woman. And all of a sudden, he went rogue. And it's, for me, I mean, this is my opinion. I'm his mom, and I've seen him go through this from time and time again. He just doesn't like authority. And when you're in trouble with the law, of course, you have to listen to everything that they tell you to. And so he's been involved with the law for a long time, and this last time they gave him a good deal. They said that if we'll let you out, we're going to give you a lifetime opportunity. This is a once in a lifetime chance to prove to us and yourself that you could stay out of jail and do good. We're going to give you some courses that we expect you to finish. But if you screw up and you have to come back to court, it's an automatic 4-year sentence. So, sure enough, he got in trouble. And when he got in trouble, he was looking at 9 years total. And I was freaking out for him. I was totally, as a mom, you don't want to see any of your kids suffer, but on the same note, you don't want to see them continuously breaking the law. And he really, really wants to straighten out his life now. He says that's it. He's in prison, and he's going to stay out of prison for a very long time. So that's going to be a promise made to be seen. It's just really hard, I just want him to do well and, just find himself a good life. And he has no work ethics. He's got no experience except for stealing cars, breaking into places. That's what he's very well known to do. That last time when he was out, he actually found himself a job, and I was so thrilled for him. And but he only lasted a couple of weeks, but that gave me a lot of good hope. I know he wants to change, and if he wants it bad enough, he will. But yet, the last time when I was on here, I had to go to a powwow that weekend, and it's in my home community, and boy, it was so disappointing. And I kind of figured that it was going to be a disappointment, but, it's one of those things you won't know until you try, and that's how it was for me. I was like, I gotta go, I gotta try it out. I haven't been to my hometown community doing a powwow there for such a long time, and yeah, I was so disappointed. makes it kind of harder when you're making a living doing beadwork. And you know, this is my kind of not my bread and butter, but it helps me keep my head above float. And this is why I not only you know, there's so much from beading that you can get so much from beading just by doing it. It's very tranquil. You get a lot of thinking done when you're into this kind of line of work. But it's hard to find buyers, especially ones that are out shopping for good deals, you know. This lady, one day, I know who she is. She's a clerk at a store. And she ordered a pair of earrings, told me what color she wants. She says she wants them nice and big. I was like, all right, I could do that. And she's like, well, how much is that going to cost? I was like, it all depends on how much material. And so I kept my word, and I made her a nice, pretty set. And when it came time to show her the beadwork, she was like very happy about the style of the beads. She's like, oh, it's so pretty. How much do I owe you? She says. I said, 35. And she looked at me and she goes, I'll give you 20. And I just looked at her and said, no. I said, it's the amount of work that goes into these kind of beads. No. Not for 35, sorry. And that was the last I heard from her. Or about anything about my beadwork. But no, I felt so insulted. You don't put a price tag on someone's work. Sorry, that is not how I roll. Totally disgusts me. But it is what it is, right? And then all I have to do is just a few more rows, and I will be ready after this to add the hair clip to the back. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to complete this. Once I complete this, I'm going to add nail hardening. I put nail hardener on this to save the coloring, because without it, the color rubs off very easily. Like it, see how different the new row is compared to that one? Excuse me. It's like this until I put the nail hardener. As soon as the nail hardener goes on there, it locks in place and it never comes off. And I want to keep it that way because I would like to keep it purple, but I don't want it to lose its purpleness. Like, yeah, so I'm going to finish this here area. And I will come back before attaching the back to this, because before adding the back, I have to sew the clip on. And this is how big my clip is going. So this is going to be a nice, pretty long hair clip. And in order for me to put this on, I have to attach this, sew it onto a leather piece, and then sew the leather piece onto here. But as I'm doing that, I'm going to be beading as I go along. Now, I'm interested. I was saying in Facebook, I'm undecided if I'm going to. There's two ways I could go about this: adding the back on to the barrette. There's a technique where I come up through one side, and when I come up through this side, I just add 3 beads and I sew it onto the back. And I'll show you what it'll look like. No, it's gonna look like this here on the earring part. But I'm actually thinking of adding like the spikes on here, because I want to add the yellow on the outer layer. But when I get down to here, I'm actually thinking of adding frills. Now, adding frills to a piece like this is very, very time consuming, but I'm willing to do it. And so anyways, I'm going to be back. I will be back to show you the rest on how to get the back on and how you get started from there. So I'll see you when I come back.